Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today for our conversation about advanced marketing analytics, known also as Google Cloud for Marketing. My name is Damian Huba, and I'm head of platforms partnerships at Google. I'm here today with Rob Enriquez, head of delivery from Delve. Delve, a Google trusted partner and a 2021 winner of the GCP Partner of the Year award in the marketing analytics category. Welcome, Rob.
Thanks, Damien. It's great to be here, and thank you for taking the time today. Excited to dive right in.
Same here, Rob. We have been seeing more and more marketing leaders jumping on the cloud for marketing bandwagon recently. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, awareness for cloud for marketing is really taking off. Pretty much everywhere I go and every conversation I have with marketing leaders these days, people are asking about it, advanced marketing analytics on the cloud or cloud for marketing. They've heard that brands are getting big results and they're wondering what all the hype is all about.
Let's talk about this hype today. Our goal of today's conversation is to answer that question and maybe address a few misconceptions what cloud for marketing is and what isn't.
Yep. And I've also got a couple of great real world examples of how marketers are using cloud for marketing today to get better targeting, better personalization, and better marketing ROI.
And finally, we'll also talk about how you can get started, how to build a business case, get the buy-in you need within your organization, and how to really start building some momentum for marketing transformation using this cloud for marketing solutions.
Sounds great. Excited to get started and delve deeper into this topic with you.
Rob, before we delve deeper, I wanted to ask you one question. I understand you are currently sitting on the island of Maui. Am I right?
That's correct, Damien. Not to get everyone jealous, but here's yes, I'm on Maui in Hawaii, but I'm not on holiday.
Aren't you? How is it like working from that paradise?
Actually, the truth is I grew up here, so this is really just coming home for me. I've lived all over the globe over the past 25 years, so I feel fortunate to be back home and be working from home. But we also have a globally distributed workforce. We have three main offices: Colorado, Warsaw, and Minsk. And I guess those located near the offices, they have to suffer working out of spaces like this, which, actually is pretty nice. Wow. Compared to where I am right now, where the downside is, yes, I have to work out of a garage office. Houses in Maui are really small.
A little bit of trade-off. But yeah, getting back on track. Let's start by explaining what cloud for marketing is.
One way to answer that question is to explain what cloud for marketing isn't. I mean, a lot of people think that it's about, it's a product or it's a tool, but actually it's a framework or methodology for how to use the tools of Google Cloud Platform to solve marketing problems.
That's a great way to put it. Actually, that's not a tool that is packaged, but it's a framework. A while back when Google first launched marketing use cases in Google Cloud Platform, in short, GCP, we also created that recommended framework for architecting marketing solutions on GCP. This is really the foundation for all the cloud for marketing discussions. And this framework has 5 steps. First is collect, then transform, analyze, visualize, and activate.
Exactly. And we're going to walk through all 5 of those steps today. But I think another big question we need to address right away off the top is, why all the hype? Why is adoption of cloud for marketing surging right now?
Yeah, especially that I just mentioned it's new. And I think one of the biggest reasons is basically the privacy. I'm not sure if you agree with me. That's turning the MarTech and AdTech world upside down right now. And, cookies and third-party data going away is just pushing this kind of cloud for marketing solutions into the mainstream to make sure that the data is being leveraged, right?
Exactly. And this is, my opinion, but I really believe like third-party cookies, they're good, but never that good. They were kind of just easy, they're easy way to buy an audience. The downside of that, it kind of lets marketers be lazy, in my opinion. Marketers had no control over how audiences were structured, and there never could be really 100% confident in targeting accuracy, right? Cookie deprecation is really just pushing marketers to take back control of their customer data.
Very fair point. Very fair point. So with cookies going away, marketers really need to make their marketing engines run on the first-party data. That's the data your customers give to you. That's the data you own.
That's the great thing. Most companies already have collected, tons and tons of first-party data. It's just sitting there in silos, in different MarTech, ad tech, and other types of tools and systems. The first step is really to integrate all that first-party data to truly get a 360-degree customer visibility.
So that's the first driver that you are mentioning about collect. Marketers are saying they need to build data lakes or customer data platforms that basically simply pool all this data together, all this data that we call first-party data, right?
That's right. And Google Cloud Platform makes it really fast and easy to spin up that kind of large, what I'll call centralized data intelligence platform.
Yeah, hard to disagree. First of all, anything from Google Universe is just simply automatically there. As Google, we have also pre-built connectors with just about a major MarTech or AdTech tool. So you've got almost one-click integration there. And then built-in data hygiene tools get all that raw data ready to use in a simple way.
Yeah, and that's, the first two parts, right? So that covers the collect and the transform part of Cloud for Marketing, what you just described.
And once you've got, just to continue my thought, once you've got all of your customers' data in one place, that's where things start getting really exciting for marketers, what they can do with this data, right?
Yeah, and that's also where there's lots of, I've seen overcomplication and misunderstanding of what they're actually doing.
Say more about it.
Or there's this misconception that analytics tools will deliver answers all on their own. But really, they're just tools, and tools need to be used with intention.
Right. And you're saying it's not always clear how to use those analytical tools?
Exactly, because then people start talking about analytics use cases, which is just kind of an overcomplicated way of saying answering the questions you have as a marketer.
Answering questions you have as a marketer. So what kind of questions should marketers be asking them?
Well, imagine, like, for a second, you're a CMO of like a health and beauty retail company. You've got customer data coming from stores, e-commerce, CRM, social media, mobile apps, etc. And then now imagine you finally got that true 360-degree customer view of who your customers are and what they're doing across every channel. What kind of questions would you ask if you had that kind of visibility? What kind of problems would you solve?
Are you asking me, right? What
Yeah.
are questions I would ask? I think that's a very good one. First, I would start to think and try to find out who are my most loyal customers, the ones that buy my products regularly and the ones that have the highest shopping cart value. But also what I would like to check is on the other end of the spectrum, where I am really wasting my ad and marketing spend and budgets on consumers that never convert.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two great questions, very common questions. But really, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Some others that I'll share right now that may resonate with every marketer listening today might be, like you said, who my best customers are, but also, what is the right message to deliver to them, over time? Which customers are most likely to convert or churn? What products are these customers most likely to buy right now? Which channels are the best to reach these customers in? How are the market, demand signals trending? How does that change marketing decisioning throughout the year? And so on and so forth.
Wow, lots of questions that you can ask. I think it's a perfect segue into another paradigm shift into in the marketing world. Can you talk about how cloud for marketing allows marketers to ask better questions and get more relevant answers?
Absolutely. We already talked about how conventional marketing is fueled by third-party data, but it also relies on third-party analytics and algorithms to make sense of that data.
And what's the problem with relying on the third-party algorithms?
Well, there's limited customizability, really. There are way too many one-size-fits-all analytics tools from what I see in the market. I like to call it one-size-fits-none, really. There's limited visibility into what's going on behind the scenes. You can't see how the sausage is made, so to speak. So it's harder to trust the outputs. And also, it's very expensive. I mean, you don't own it. You don't control the costs. It's much harder to predict ROI when you're not really in control.
So Rob, after what you said, will it be fair to say that another big driver of cloud for marketing adoption is really marketers taking control of the analytics tool so they can really ask better questions and get better answers?
Exactly. And, I think I know that sounds daunting for a lot of marketers because most marketers don't have like a data science degree. It can be intimidating, but GCP actually makes it super easy.
Yeah, I can confirm Google has pre-built machine learning models in some of our products, and we've built an interface as well for creating custom predictive and prescriptive models that's designed for really anyone to use. I even tried it myself, and I don't hold the engineer's degree, so I think it's quite easy to approach, right?
Exactly. So and also on top of that, I mean, GCP also makes it really easy and cost effective to have a team of data scientists, if you choose, to really build those extra customized and sophisticated models to answer your specific marketing questions. And that's really what Delve's doing every day for customers.
So, Rob, slightly changing the topic, the one step in the Cloud for Marketing framework we haven't talked about is activation. What do marketers need to understand about this really final step in the 5-step framework process?
Yeah, that's really one of the biggest problems we see at Delve. Is that customers build a data platform, but what that results in sometimes is like the data pipes are just dead ends, right? The data still has to be manually plugged into marketing campaigns to get value out of it.
So how not to end up in this dead end problem? How do GCP could actually help you solve that?
Yeah, I think this is where GCP shines the brightest in terms of its value to marketers. A lot of marketers are already using Google's MarTech and AdTech tools. So when you build your data lake or customer data platform in GCP, those data pipes automatically fuel your Google Analytics, search ads, display and video, campaign manager, et cetera. There's a seamless kind of integration there that you're just not really going to get anywhere else.
I like this slide in which you show actually this 5 steps: collect, transform, analyze, visualize, and activate. You also used a lot of different names that might not be familiar for every marketer. So let's make it a little bit real for our listeners. Could you give us a specific example on how one of your clients has activated their cloud data or the first-party data, and what does it look like in the end?
Right. So I'll talk about an official Google client success story now that will involve, answering a simple question: how do I predict a very specific customer behavior? This success story, in fact, won recently the Ad Exchanger's Best Use of Data Award for 2022. The company is Economy Car Rentals, we'll say ECR for short. It's an aggregator of car rental deals. So like a lot of other travel-related companies, the pandemic shutdowns killed their business in 2020. But even as the lockdowns eased, they were having huge problems with cancellations.
Problem with cancellations, you mean that they were spending money on the marketing, they were acquiring customers that at the end of the day were actually canceling before the company, the ECR, got their revenue, right?
exactly. And you know, millions of dollars were basically going down the drain, or millions of euros in this case. And so ECR's marketing leader had a simple question: which customers would cancel their reservations, and which ones wouldn't?
Huh. I can see that getting this answer to that question would be worth millions to them, right? So I'm very curious, how did you answer that question?
Yeah, exactly. So Delve built an AI model on GCP that predicted individual cancellation probabilities in real time as each booking was made. We did a proof of concept in about a month. So, you know, fairly quickly.
And so it's very quickly. So what did you do with the cancellation probability? And maybe one more or two more questions. What's the activation strategy? And you don't want to actually stop people from booking, right?
Of course not. So what we did was we integrated the model cancellation probabilities with their Google ads. So their ad spend shifted to target customers with highest chance of fulfilling the booking as opposed to canceling, right? So really it resulted in you know, huge results at the end of the day. If you think about it, you're now targeting people that specifically have the highest probability of fulfilling the booking, right? And not canceling.
And sounds like magic. And you know, connecting it to Google Ads. And did it really work? Did they stop the wave of cancellations?
Yeah, to make the value tangible, it absolutely worked. Again, remember, this is a 1 month kind of model building project. ECR estimated they reduced costs by about €1 million in just the first quarter after deployment.
That's incredible. This €1 million saving. And what do they do with this €1 million saved later on?
Well, the great thing about you know, cloud for marketing and models that come out of it is you can use it to scale, right? So for them specifically, they used it to launch campaigns in 10 brand new markets that historically had high cancellation rates. So they're actually scaling and driving growth with this data-driven strategy, right?
I think if I recall properly, the project lasts for 4 months. I'm guessing the break-even point on this cloud for marketing investment was even shorter than this 4 months, right?
Yeah, so if you include the development process and then the testing kind of period of the models to see what the incremental return was, yes, 4 months. But the kind of payback, I guess, period on the investment, it honestly is like probably a few weeks of even the testing period. So quite quick.
Wow. Rob, thanks very much for sharing this case. It really brings all the buzzwords into action, and it really shows how the real world and how the real cloud for marketing cases are used in practice and what benefits they bring for advertisers. I'm impressed by this €1 million savings within just a quarter. Before we wrap up, I'm sure some members of the audience are probably wondering how to even get started. Could you please give advice to our listeners? Should they actually really jump directly into data lake and all of these use cases? That seems like a lot to take it on all at once.
That's right. It would be too much. I mean, we don't recommend jumping right into the data lake. That'd be, you know, too much, really.
If it's too much, where do you start?
Well, we really like to focus and work backwards from activation, right? So activation is obviously where the magic happens, right? Or sometimes where it fails to happen in many cases. But focusing on activation and working backwards, and that leads to all of the other solutions. And really it doesn't matter where you start. It's not a sequence. It's a continuous flywheel. You could think of it that way.
Right, like building a data lake, but not really using it, or doing so-called micro-segmentation, but not connecting it to marketing automation.
Yeah, exactly. So the starting point really is, you know, what are the questions you want to answer, right? Getting that down, you know, what are you going to actually do with those answers? And so once you've got your activation use cases figured out, all the other parts start falling into place more easily.
Thank you, Rob. One more advice. Any other advice for marketing leaders that want to get started?
I like to tell marketing leaders that digital marketing transformation doesn't happen all at once. Instead, we always recommend focusing on, low effort, medium impact types of scenarios, and then building off of that in follow-on phases. Once you prove the value at each phase, it's more of an agile, iterative approach to value creation.
Kind of incremental value creation, right? Incremental approach.
Exactly. Starting with the low-hanging fruit. The obvious issues are often the easiest to solve for, is what we find, and have that impact, right? And sure, there's a lot of different platforms and approaches to use cloud tools and activating first-party data, but really, as long as I've been doing this, I think Google Cloud Platform I've really seen as clearly the best, and it just keeps getting better.
Hard to disagree, though I might be a little bit of biased. Rob, thank you very much for summarizing and for introducing to us the whole concept of cloud for marketing, or as we call it, advanced marketing analytics solutions. Thanks for being here, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun, and I really hope we made this big topic a little easier to understand for all the marketers out there.
Thank you, Rob.
I invite you all listening to delve deeper into this topic and read the ebook I developed on the subject with my team, Cloud for Marketing, a powerful engine for marketing transformation.